I want to talk briefly about TED City. And this is a conference. I don't hype you coming back here, but I am hyping that because it's the first time we're doing it. And it's turning out to be better than I thought. My notion was to limit it to speakers, presenters who were born or live in Canada now. And I thought that would be a really good notion. Well, it turns out that speaker list is incredible. And there's 4 or 5 speakers I've tried to get to come here, and I've never been able to get them. They cancel, they say no, and they're going to speak there. This little thing has very long bios, well, fairly long bios. Everybody got one of these. And I put it in a little type and complete just because I thought these people were really good. The best thing about it is that it's cheap. Also, it's 3,000 Canadian, which is 2,000 American. And the theater is a better theater than this. So if you're on the East Coast and it's easy to get to Toronto, I think this is going to be the sleeper conference, because Moses and his guys there, they know, because of Much Music and Bravo and his 13 channels of television, they're going to get the most amazing entertainment there. It's really going to be a fun event. And and there's no simulcast rooms. Just one really beautiful auditorium right downtown. So I urge you to go to that conference. I think it's really going to be quite good. Many people are complaining that they're a little tired this morning. It's the same every year. It's grueling. I'm in good shape today. Last year at this time I was quite ill, and I got very sick, and I was kind of mean to everybody. And I'm sorry. I apologize a year later to those who took the wrath of my engorged arrogance. I just like the sound of that. It sounded sort of virile and mean, right? But I'm in a good mood today. And I think we're still laughing from Art last night. He was really the kind of the haiku of humor. I mean, he said one word, ridiculous, and we all laid on the floor and wet our pants. I mean, it was quite astonishing. It was the best of kind of, remember those you remember Jack Benny, when he would just sometimes wouldn't even say anything, he would just do that and you burst out laughing. But it was, I thought, it was quite a show. I was just watching that. He's probably not up here yet, is he? No, he's not here, so he's never going to hear this. Well, it's okay, I'd say it anyway. But it was really quite a feat what he did. It was something to watch when we all just talk so much and say so many words and build up for jokes and take long, and he just did it with such restraint, and it was an art form the way he was a humorist last night. Lots of other laughs from a lot of other people. I'm not just trying to single him out. I'm singling him out that it was at one end of the scale of what humor is. And humor is an amazing thing, because it allows you to say things and see patterns that you don't see without humor. I forget if I told this joke last year or not, but the guy, I always tell some going into a bar joke, because I think I told it last year. I'm going to tell it again, because my daughter Vanessa likes going into bar jokes. So this guy goes in the bar, and he's really, really upset. He's sweating and angry, as many people often are going into the bar, and he's mumbling about his wife and divorce and lawyers, and he's just upset. And he gets his drink and he says, "Lawyers are assholes." Down the other end of the bar, an empty bar, there's this huge guy who stands up, gets beat red in the face, and he said, "Oh my God, are you a lawyer?" He said, "No, I'm an asshole." Well, he told an asshole joke last night, so I thought I would tell an asshole joke. And what jokes are, and what humor is the opposite of expectation. And so much of our creativity that we do is the opposite of expectation. When we have a breakthrough, Michael, I'm sure when you have breakthroughs at the Media Lab, they're often the opposite of expectation, the opposite of what you think should happen. I've never talked to you about that, but I think that's a lot of ways you see new patterns. That's the way you can do some new marketing. Later on this morning, Bobby Greenberg is going to show live off the web the Understanding USA website. And that whole project is the opposite of expectation. It's free. And there's no advertising. And yet it's a very good marketing scheme. The book is cheap, about 1/3 of the price it should be, and it's not copywritten. And the fact is, you don't have to copyright things. You know, what's the difference? Everybody can have anything anyway. And if it's a good idea, it belongs to everybody. And there's still reason to have certain forms that you can pay for. And it's the opposite of expectation. Maybe not everything should be that way, but I think some things can be that way and can work all right. I do believe, I don't have the exact numbers, but I'm almost certain the main room is, sold out already for here for next year. I did try to be above board about that, and everybody got an e-TED about that, saying it was going to sell out. You didn't have to sign up, but I was just warning you, if it was based on the numbers that were coming in, it was going to sell out. And I really don't know at this moment whether I'm going to cut it off and not have simulcast rooms at all. That means there will be no more registration, or whether I will. It would seem funny not to have several hundred people who often come here, not here, or not be able to come, but I haven't decided the way I want to run it next year. And I'm always trying to think. What? Free tickets for kids. For who? Children. Youth. Utes. The Utes, Indians from, the Utes from Aspen. The Utes. We've never had a Ute register. No. Anyway, I would like, I'm always curious to see ideas of what we can do better, but please don't tell them to me. Just send me an email. Nothing goes in my head for another week. I really can't hear anything but what we're doing right now and trying to shovel it all in the next while. Let me tell you for the rest of what we're going to do today, which is different. We obviously did not get the presidential candidates, and I talked about that yesterday, and I feel very relaxed about that. I didn't think I would. I was so anxious about trying to get them, and so many people helped. I mean, it seemed like half the people in this room sent a letter, called somebody, spent a lot of hours doing it, and I apologize for taking all your time in what was in vain. It would have been interesting, but probably laughable if they came. And uncomfortable for me on the stage to put in front of you people who I don't think want to hear from in this forum in that way. And I know it's a very important thing who becomes our next president, but in context here, I think they wouldn't be able to adjust to telling the truth. This morning there was do we have it here? What happened to the newspaper I had? I had a newspaper. Well, in the bottom right hand of the newspaper, is it here? This happens. I'm going to be 65 in 3 weeks. And this morning, when I wasn't shaving, I saw a little bit of dribble start coming down. I don't know if that was the first sign or leftover toothpaste. Okay. Wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Census Bureau sends out 120 million letters, and every single one of them is addressed incorrectly. I'm reading, okay? It's not a joke paper. The 2000 census is just getting underway, and already there is a numbers problem. The Census Bureau is mailing 120 million misaddressed letters informing every American household that the important questionnaire will follow soon. Ah! The mistake tacked on an extra digit to the beginning of each street address. Instead of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, for example, the address will read something like 31,600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I mean, is that Dummkopf or is that Dummkopf? $120 million letters. That's bigger than my E-TED. You know, that's serious. Oh my God.
That's the same company that runs the air traffic control.
Vince, you should have a, yeah, Vince used to be head of the census. Vince, did you ever do something like that or worse? I believe everything Vince tells me. Yes. You call him up. Vince, by the way, is the gentleman who's he has many people helping him, but single-handedly was brought up the idea of having the test drives. You're going to see some of you already seen it, but you can see this, the iPics of the Hummer drive, where GM brought a camera truck and the iPics people took. It's the most astonishing film of what just went on a couple days ago, and the people who were on the drive just found it, you know, just extraordinary. And I really feel so badly that I couldn't get on it. I really would love to, but I signed up too late. We're going to have 2 sessions this morning and then a lunch.